Hello everybody, Peter Rampion Clark here, and I'd like to welcome you to the Evolving Creation series, in which a different perspective, hopefully a fresh perspective, will emerge for you, thinking about the relationship between creation and evolution, instead of them being two sides of a seemingly irreconcilable debate. So I was captured by a few things. Joseph Campbell's Power of Myth series really got to me. And he referred to myths as having informed religions and built civilizations. Informed religions is not, they weren't religions themselves, and yet many mythic elements came into religion, such as the Tree of Life, which is just found all over the place. In every religion you can think of, there's one or more versions of that. So I was captivated to see what can be a modern version of that. And also, as I was doing mantras silently for meditation and chanting some out loud, I thought it'd be nice to have my own mantra that is meaningful to me and that stands for something, it represents for something. It represents, in this case, in my case, turned out I wanted it to represent the deep core constituents of nature, what I call the deep nature archetypes. And so that's been my driving quest, is to utilize the mantras that I found, one for evolution, one for creation, and in the context, sort of create a model of everything in a way. Now, what would go into everything? Well, you have the world tree, the universe. You have a representation of each person, one person, and a representation of all persons or all beings. One being, all beings, the world, and the stillness. And the vehicle I found to express that are totems. They're word totems. The vertical aspect is representing the stillness, the unmanifest, that's outside of space-time. That you have to have a representation of that if you're going to actually express a model of everything. This is not a theory of everything, a model of everything. And so, how to express the stillness, that's what starts off the series. I just want to, I felt a spiritual connection with nature, and I wanted to express it in my own personal way, and I hope that it captures your imagination. And so, we're going to go inside and take a look at this series of totem designs that starts off with a depiction of the stillness, and then moves into initially like a metaphoric or alliterative phrase that stands for the grandeur of nature. And from that, symbolically, we have a blooming forth of the mantras for evolution and for creation. And so I hope that trying these, if you're curious to engage with these mantras, you'll find two different qualities of energy. They're both rather energizing. But one thing about mantras, really any mantra, when you're saying the mantra, you don't suffer. You're not worried about what you might have been worried about before you started chanting it. It's because the mind can't really multitask, can't truly multitask. When you're saying a mantra, you're expressing the energy of that mantra, and worry is set aside, suffering is set aside. So I hope that some of you will become curious enough to learn and utilize these. They're simple mantras. They're simple phrases that repeat themselves. And the deep nature archetypes, we'll talk about those in due time. So again, I want to welcome you. It's my pleasure, really, to elucidate these, what I feel are insights about the nature of nature, so to speak. And I think that these mantras will be truly universal because they draw upon at least half a dozen different sources for their syllables. So this is rather a linguistic adventure. And the culmination of the series will be actually based on someone's, a brilliant author, Itzhak Bentov, who had an idea of a recycling universe that's a little bit different from anything else I've seen, any other ideas, any version of it. Now, we still don't know really whether the Big Bang is true or not. There's more challenges than you can shake a stick at lately. So this is one attempt to show that. And but first we have the linguistic version of the universe, and I'll explain it just as darn good as I can. So come along with me. Let's go inside and take a look at, it's just going to be bare bones, flip charts. I'll explain these with as much verve and energy as I can muster. I hope you're interested. So come along with me and we will take a look at Totem Zero. Thanks very much.